So, two pioneers and legends in the information war era, Joe Rogan, the most viewed podcaster in history, had another legend, Adam Curry, on the Joe Rogan Experience, and Adam Curry breaks down with Joe the difference between Bitcoin and shitcoins. Why is this important, you ask? Well, Adam Curry, American podcaster, announcer, internet entrepreneur, former VJ on MTV. He's also one of the first celebrity types to create and administer websites, RSS feeds, also known for co-hosting the No Agenda show in the 2000s. He first became involved in podcasting and has been called the Podfather. Now, Joe Rogan looks up to Curry and has now had him on his show 5 times, really diving into Bitcoin the last 2 discussions. But let's check out their most recent discussion where Curry breaks down Bitcoin, not crypto, not shitcoins. And someone call the bass department. Adam Curry is a legend. Oh, your boy is excited about this one. Let's go ahead and spin it. Let's go.
I don't think we'll ever see the bottom of this pit.
Well, as a guy who's really into crypto, that must be fascinating for you to watch that blow up.
Oh, God. Already see Rogan comes out. Well, as a guy that's into... He knew that would get under Curry's skin right out of the gate to, like, bring out what he wanted to bring out of Curry. And Joe Rogan is a genius at that. He brings out what he wants to bring out in his guests, like making Peter Zeihan look like a complete douchebag a couple weeks ago. But here we go.
Apart, right?
Well, I'm very happy that it blew apart because these are all shit coins. As a guy who's into Bitcoin, not crypto, all of this came after Bitcoin. All of it's shit, and all of it needs to go to zero. And
Oh, so based. So based. It does all need to go to zero, but so many people have this misconception about, like, FTX has anything at all to do with Bitcoin. They barely had any of the Bitcoin they claim to have on their balance sheet. They were rehypothecating it to do a pump and dump on their coin. A lot of people are, oh, we need Saylor, Maulers, and da-da-da-da. No, Rogan looks up to Curry. We talked about this. He's had him on the show 5 times. He is the Podfather, and he values everything Curry has to say and is intrigued by it, and they have a lot of fun here. Let's continue.
So you think Bitcoin is the only way?
Well, yeah, no one controls it. There's no CEO. No one can do anything different with it. It just exists. And it kind of exists because of the network of people, because ultimately you don't need any company. You don't even need mining companies. You know, I run 2 miners at home. I print about $1.50 a day. Yeah, and I love it. You know, it makes me feel in control of my destiny, that I can do things with other people and the government can't.
That's another thing with Bitcoin. You know, we talk about this all the time. Self-responsibility, self-ownership. I'm the bank now. I am my own bank. I don't need you rehypothecating, debasing, and spending future generations' money on your military-industrial complex. I won't be a part of it. And Curry, again, guys, super based. He is about that life. He is a Bitcoiner. You got to love it.
Tell me what I can or cannot do with my money.
I love that Adam Curry's a Bitcoin miner. It's awesome.
That's
awesome.
It's fun. It really is. Well,
I'm sure.
But I integrated that into podcasting 2.0. So now
$1.25 a day, you say?
$1.50. More.
And of course, the Podfather would be one of the first people that got into podcasting 2.0 and the integration of the Lightning Network and value for value. The guy's been on the cutting edge ever since the internet. He is kind of a cypherpunk in his own right. Yeah, got to appreciate it.
At the current prices, it's not about the money. It's more about
fun.
I'm keeping the network alive. I'm part of the network. I'm part of millions of people who believe in.
Adam Curry is a cyber hornet. All right, get that ingrained in your mind.
What Bitcoin is capable of, and then it's really an escape hatch. You know, when all the shit comes down, if I want to receive value or money, and you know the government won't let me, or Elon's system won't let me, or you know PayPal won't let me, whatever it is, I can still transact with someone, and you literally cannot stop that. You cannot stop the transfer of Bitcoin.
Honey Badger doesn't care about your government, your regulation, your ban. It's a decentralized network. You'd have to like go take out every node runner around the globe if you're going to take it. I mean, good luck with it. Bitcoin is unstoppable, and we're just getting rolling. We're just coming into that real mainstream consciousness, and it's pretty amazing to see in real time.
Coin. You can stop buying Bitcoin for dollars. You can stop selling Bitcoin for dollars, but you can't stop me from mining Bitcoin, and you can't stop me from sending it to you or you sending it to me. That can't be. That's unless you turn off the internet, and then still, it can still work.
Yeah. The fluctuations, though, they don't disturb you. Do you think that eventually that will?
Here we go, the conventional Joe. Again, he's trying to do this for his viewers, too, to get educated because he knows Curry knows what the hell he's talking about. So, again, brings up the traditional volatility argument. Oh, it's so volatile, da-da-da-da, even though it's up and to the right and becomes more valuable over time. Rogan knows this, but he also knows what his viewer could get some value from.
Even out and become more rational? Like the idea that it can drop from 70 to 20, is that ever going to, like, balance out? Is it more stable now than it was initially? It's obviously more valuable than it was initially.
Yes. Well, if you look at the mathematics of it, it is intended to always increase.
And here we go. Adam Curry is going to break down number go up technology, deflationary money, sound money compared to infinite fiat. And he does it very concisely in normal person language. Adam Curry is a great proponent for Bitcoin. And there's no one better that could have been educating Joe Rogan specifically than Adam Curry.
It is intended to always increase in value.
You know about that dude that lost like a hard drive full?
He's an idiot.
And he's paying them to go through the dump?
I literally, the way so if you can remember 12 short words, your Bitcoin.
And then again, Joe Rogan is trying to make the issue of how do you keep it safe? You know, people are scared, so how difficult is it? Opens that up for Curry. Curry does a good job here on breaking down how you memorize 12 words and no one can stop you, and how powerful an idea self-custody is, as well as how secure the Bitcoin network is.
Your Bitcoin is always with you. So I can travel across the world. If I can remember 12 words and I enter those into any random Bitcoin program, my wallet, my money will come right back. There's some people, I don't believe this, but some people who think that if you remember your 12 words, when you die in the afterworld, you'll still have your Bitcoin. If you remember the 12 words. But that's a very unique feature,
like
that you can go
pharaohs.
anywhere in the world without any technology, whatever. As long as you can remember 12 words, you can have access to your Bitcoin. That's
But
cool.
Someone can get them 12 words out of you.
Yeah, of course they can beat it out of you. Of
Yeah,
course.
that's a problem.
Yeah, it could be
That
nasty.
anybody could just drag your Bitcoin out.
They could.
Here we go, the good old $5 wrench attack.
Bitcoin out.
They could. But so
That's a
that's
little
why
bit
you
of an
want to
issue.
have multiple wallets and you want to do other things.
Jesus, Adam Curry. Oh, jeez.
I'm not too worried about that.
And then Rogan, he's trying to, it's too complicated. Now I got to do multiple wallets. You told me 12 words. Now, how many wallets is that? Now I got to, but I think he's fronting, though. I think Rogan's fronting. I think he's been stacking for some time. I think he's doing pretty good with the Bitcoin. And I think he is an advocate.
That I just like the idea, and I don't view it as an investment. I mean, every company on Nasdaq and Dow Jones has gone down by 60-70%. So everyone's value is down right now.
Right.
And remember, it's Bitcoin versus the U.S. dollar. When the U.S. dollar gains value, the DXY, which is how they, versus the pound or the euro, then of course Bitcoin is going to be less valuable.
Right.
If the dollar goes down, Bitcoin becomes more valuable. It's two sides of the same coin. When you look at Bitcoin versus dollars, if you just look at Bitcoin as in Bitcoin, then it's still, if you have a Bitcoin, you still have a Bitcoin. It's
One Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin. Can't argue with that 10th and 11th grade math, as Greg Foss would say. It can't be manipulated by anyone. There will only ever be 21 million.
and
So this FTX thing was all what you would call shitcoins.
100%.
So these are all cryptocurrencies that just exist on someone's imagination.
They made it up. They just made it up, and they could create as many as they want. That's the whole game. We go back to the dollar. They created
A continuance of the fiat system, all right? That's all these shitcoins are. That's what FTT was. Luna, all this bullshit. Ethereum is a Frankenstein fucking shitstorm that's gonna blow up in everyone's face. It is one of the ultimate shitcoins that exist. But of course, Bitcoin and the dollar at the end of the day. Bitcoin is on a grander mission here to end fiat money, to end the military-industrial complex. to fight against CBDCs and a complete control system they want to implement on people, force people into their ESG bullshit narratives. We believe in science, biology is irrelevant now. But everyone's waking up, the energy companies, the politicians, nation states, and big institutions, as we've been talking about recently, Goldman Sachs, Ray Dalio, and of course, BlackRock, all starting to bend the knee and come around. Again, Bitcoin is entering that mainstream consciousness, and it is becoming too big to deny, as well as its staying power. But we got to stay on the mission and make sure that we spread Bitcoin to enough people that it's infeasible to attack it from a state level or a political attack. Not that it matters, but if we want Bitcoin to be adopted on the scale we want, at the pace we want, we got to keep moving it forward. Keep moving it forward. And Adam Curry, you're doing a hell of a job.
They created 40% of all the dollars printed were made in the last 3 years. What do we get? Inflation. Bitcoin will be 21 million. That's it. And we won't mint the 21st million Bitcoin until 150 years from now. We'll all be dead.
So explain to me these crypto shitcoins. Like, so anybody can just decide that they're going to start a coin, and then if it gets popular and people are willing to buy it, then it becomes valuable. And then you could also...
He's doing a real good job here, and he's showing how it's a confidence game. It's a con. That's what these shitcoins are. There is no fundamental value, technological innovation behind these things. It's all just pump and dump, VC money scams. Corey Clipston has been exposing these people for months and months and months, and Curry does a good job as well.
also have not just coins, but you could also have, like, there's... What was the other thing that they have, Jamie? But there's coins and those, but there's also like, what's that other shit?
A token.
Token.
Same thing.
It's the same thing.
It's the same
Is
thing.
it? But the
It's the same
token's
thing.
not as regulated.
No. Oh, well, okay.
Isn't a token-
Hold on.
I love how Rogan plays dumb so much when he does these things, but it's also to steer the argument, to get the education, and to keep him objective and to portray himself as objective, even though, again, I think Joe Rogan is a Bitcoiner to the core.
Interchangeable words sometimes.
Oh my God,
Okay,
I hate everybody.
hold on. There's something else. There's one other thing. So there's token and coin is the same thing. There's something called a stable coin, and this is kind of where it started to go wrong. The stable coin is a token that is supposed to be equal to the U.S. dollar. So one Terra, which went bankrupt famously, one USDC, all these different stable coins, and they are used to transact at a dollar value.
Oh.
But they're supposed to be backed by one-to-one bonds, money, cash money, etc. This is now getting regulated. This is what BlackRock is doing. BlackRock invested in USDC, and so I believe it's
And that's where you get that idea that maybe the U.S. is not going to adopt a CBDC, more promote a stable coin, and maybe this is the prevention of Circle going public, and then you have BlackRock getting in. A lot of moving pieces, but stable coins, for the most part, appear to be bullshit. I mean, what is more stable than Satoshis over time compared to fiat shitcoins? Stable coins that depeg and collapse and rip people off all the time. I'm going to stick with my Bitcoin and Satoshis, and I think Adam Curry does as well.
Stationary, but it really is. The idea is you can now transact with a digital dollar back and forth that is the value of a dollar. And it turns out that some of these no one has actually said, well, so there's 10 billion I'm just making the number, 10 billion USDC tokens, stable coin. When you ask, can you please show me that you have $10 billion in value backing that up? Everyone says, no, that's none of your business.
Oh.
So it's very iffy what's going on there. And Terra, that started the whole thing off. That went bankrupt because
He's getting into all these stable coins that do not do like a proof of reserve system, or are very shady when they get called on to audit. Maybe he's referencing a common stable coin that gets brought up a lot in relation to Bitcoin and their shadiness in showing their reserves and how they actually peg it.
Started saying, I want to give you my stable coins, give me US dollars. And it was a run on the bank. And they didn't have all the assets to pay everybody the money. And then it just starts to unwind, because that's what all these guys are. Bitcoin it's now 14 years old. It was a great invention, and people saw that and said, what a great idea. I'm going to rip people off by creating these shit coins, make them valuable just by buying and selling, creating more.
Man, excellent stuff from Adam Curry and Joe Rogan. Really breaks down some of the fundamental arguments of Bitcoin versus crypto. Well, shitcoins. Let's just call it what it is. And Adam Curry, great job. I think Joe Rogan is going to continue to come around and keep bringing in these guests. And, you know, Adam Curry is planting those seeds. He has been for a couple years now with Joe, and he's just going to continue to bring in more and more of those guests because his listeners are very interested and promote that. As most of his listeners are kind of anti-collectivist and anti-statist, it makes sense for a lot of them to be also Bitcoin proponents. And again, hopefully we do get Saylor, Jack Mallers, Saifedean, John Vallis, and who knows, Tomer Strolite. It would be some incredible stuff. Robert Breedlove. Personally, I think Saifedean, with the way he breaks down Austrian economics, as well as his comedy and his kind of abrasiveness and his savagery, I think he would be the guy to go on Joe Rogan. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you go check out Adam Curry and more of the Joe Rogan Experience. I know you guys probably watch Joe Rogan, but if you haven't heard Adam Curry, he is about that life. He is about freedom. He's about Bitcoin and sound money, and he preaches the sound money gospel all the time. So thanks for stopping in. Go ahead, share us, give us a pump, and tune in with us. Every week we'll be dropping more and more content, and don't forget to tune in to Simply Bitcoin Live at 12:15 Monday through Friday. Also, subscribe to Simply Bitcoin Unfiltered, the Substack, with so much base content, educational content, even some diving into politics and philosophy. Check that out. Subscribe and do it for the culture, baby. I'll catch you all back here next time. Peace.